Hello everybody, today I'm going to recommend a book that you might heard of, that is the Atomic Habits. I really appreciate that book and I think almost everybody should read it. And especially for the case if you are teenager where you have a lot of potential but you feel like you are not disciplined enough. You feel like you are just getting some of the bad habits that you cannot get rid of. So the book is to me it's quite simple. It's written in simple English and it has many practical examples, vivid examples, and there are like 4 major chapters about the 4 laws of forming habits. And at the end of each chapter, you have a table or a bullet list of all the condensed practical advices where you can directly pick up. To put it simple, you won't regret if you read it. The first principle or the first law mentioned in this book is that you need to make your habit obvious. Instead of just a New Year resolution, you need to be explicit about when, where, and what you should do to form your habit. Besides explicit about the 3 W's, there's also a very good trick where you can apply everywhere you want. That is to stacking habits. For me, I made up a very simple rule. Every time I lay on the bed, I will never watch YouTube or streaming or anything else. I will just leave my phone alone. So that means behavioral stacking or habit stacking. If you do A, lie on the bed, then you should do B, which is to put your phone away from you. And after applying such a rule, I find it's much easier for me to get back early. Otherwise, I will just wasting time surfacing the internet without stopping. Anyway, that's one of my example about the first law of forming habits, that is to make the habit obvious. And the second thing is to make it attractive. For this law, just like stacking habits or actions, you're just combining some good parts with some bad parts. Like you can combine one thing you really want to do with another thing you need to do. So one example might be something like if I want to smoke a cigarette, I will just instead chewing a gum, something like that. Besides, another way to form the habit is to find a group of people who are doing the habit already. In that case, you can just choose the correct public audience or group that already have the habit you want, and you just go with the flow, following their social norm, so that you can just form the habit. For example, it might be possible for you to join a philosophy group such that you can force yourself to read the classic philosophy books. The third rule is about to make it simple. Besides the cultural part, another important aspect is about the environment, like all the things surrounding you. One example for me is that I have an Apple Watch. You can just set up your workout goal. And for me, I just sit in the chair for many hours. The smartwatch will know that I have been sitting for a long time and it will just send me a notification for me to stand up for 1 minute. Research proved that for people sitting for a long time, if you stand up every hour, your health conditions can be significantly improved. So by using the smartwatch, I can just change the environment. My habits just changed to a much better alternative. And another thing I found really helpful is that you can use something like the 2-minute rules. So for me, I always have trouble starting something. Like, for example, it's very frustrating for me to revise a scientific paper, or like there's some like program I haven't touched for months and I need to fix some bugs. And for that cases, it's really hard for me to get started because I just need some time to rest and to gain the mental power. But you don't need to do that because you can just follow some 2-minute rules. Just try it for 2 minutes. For example, if you want to work out, just go to the gym, stay in the gym for 2 minutes. And if you don't feel like you are prepared for a workout, that's okay. That's totally fine. Just go back and come back the other day for another 2 minutes. So by following such a rule, it's just much easier for you to get started. And just like the old sayings, Rome is not built in 1 day. So if you want to really do something brilliant, the key idea is just to repeat something for a long time. For example, many famous authors like J.K. Rowling, they just keep writing. They write every day for 2-3 hours. So it's all about repetitions. Furthermore, you can just make your habits a ritual behavior. Like every day, you just sit in the same coffee shop and just writing for 2 hours while you're enjoying your coffee, something like that. So now we just finished the first 3 rules to make it obvious, attractive, and easy. So that's all about how you get started with your habit. There's always a possibility of a backfire where you find disappointed and unsatisfied. So that is like the killer of forming a habit. If you really want to achieve your goals following your habit, you should never get disappointed or get bored. You need to show yourself that your habit has a significant positive impact on your life. So one idea is that you could use a habit tracker. Another thing is that after you reach some milestones, for example, finally a scientific paper got published, you should definitely reward yourself just to reinforce that you deserve it and you earned it through your hard work. And another trick the author mentioned is to never miss twice. It's totally fine in some cases where you have a conflict schedule or something come out of a sudden and you cannot finish your task. That's okay, but the key idea is to never miss twice. You need to do that the next day. Otherwise, you are forming a habit of not doing your good habit. So that is all the 4 basic laws of forming a good habit. I really recommend you to read the book. So everybody has a great potentials and they also have the desire to achieve their goals. But the key idea is that you need to think about it. You need to think about some of the places where you can do a lot of job but you haven't, and try to design some rules based on those principles and to apply those rules to form a better habit. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye.